What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Creo Show. This is the very first episode. Me and my friend Ryan here, we're going to be sharing our thoughts on different topics each week or every other week or whenever we can get one of these out. There's not really a set schedule for it, but we try to get them out at least once a week. But for today's topic, we want to talk about what needs to happen with the Halo IP. Halo's been in the news on and off for, I would say, a good 2 weeks, and we just kind of want to talk about the franchise and what we personally feel are some things that would benefit the IP itself. So, Ryan, do you want to start off with yours or do you want to start off with mine?
Let's start off with yours because it's more organized and makes sense.
All right, fine. So the way this works is I talk about one of my topics, we go back and forth on, what we think about it, and then he goes and pitches one of his. We got a few of them listed here. Whether we get through all of them is a whole different story. But this will be about 30 minutes to an hour, give or take. So sit back, relax, and feel free to chime in the comment section for the video. So for my first one is Halo Infinite needs to get the Master Chief Collection treatment. I'm talking modes, maps, constant updates. They recently had started adding in Forge maps into the community playlist, which I think is great. There's a lot of fantastic Forge artists out there making things for people to enjoy. And I think that's really great that 343 is noticing that and being able to put that in for people to play and even including it in its own separate playlist versus throwing it into regular rotation. So that is good. But I also would like for them to do this kind of like on a monthly basis where we get new maps added every month, whether it's 2 maps, 1 map, 4 maps, I don't care. Because right now we have 4 maps in the community playlist. I have not had a chance to play them myself, but 4 maps extra into for what people can play, I think is great. And then I would love for them to add in DLC for the campaign. This will be for those people who like to just do the PvE side of Halo, or they don't really want to invest in the multiplayer side of it and want to play offline. I think this would be great for them to have more stuff to go into the storyline of Halo Infinite.
Mhm. I completely agree, and I don't know if they've ha do you know if they've added a custom games browser yet?
I don't think so. I think that was supposed to happen in like season 3. I think they're supposed to have that added. I'm
Oh
not
man,
100 I'm not
that's gonna be so
100% sure.
great. That's gonna be so great for people to just relax and have fun. Another change I think they need to follow MCC is that replace the battle pass with something similar to the exchange.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Um, the exchange is a lot of fun. It gives you more, in my opinion, it gives you better cosmetics and better things to work
That's what I was thinking.
towards than what the battle
Yeah.
pass is giving. And
Yeah.
like the battle pass itself is really, really, really bad. Like it doesn't have
Hey,
any.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like I don't even want to try to get anything out of the battle pass in Infinite because there's just nothing really there that like catches my eye to want to try to obtain. But
Yeah,
the
I know, I know. The current battle pass is based around the noble team.
yeah, it's been focusing around them since launch, and this game's been out for a while.
Yeah,
Like everyone's still kind of complaining that we're getting reach armor. I mean, I agree with them. We don't need reach armor at this point. Give us something else. Give us something more unique to the Spartans that we have. But
give us the cosmetic of the chick that Master Chief slept with in the show.
ew, no.
Could you imagine a whole team just dressed as her?
Oh God, man. No, no, just no.
But no, I think they need to do something similar with the exchange for Infinite, and then what was those things you're doing? Series?
Oh, for me, what I'm doing on the MCC?
Yeah, the
So it's the catalog. So it's their version of the
catalog.
battle pass.
Yeah,
Um
that would be much better for Infinite.
yeah, I agree. Like the exchange, like I literally spent 3 of my Spartan points to get the OG Xbox as like a
I
backpack
know.
thing. So
I knew you would.
like that is just it's just super cool stuff like that that I would love for them to add into it. Something to just kind of add something unique to your character versus having to buy stuff in the store and having to get stuff through the battle pass that a lot of people just don't care about because you can't get half the stuff because the XP is just absolute trash in
How about
Infinite.
with Infinite?
Yeah, like
Okay, that's what I thought.
like it doesn't matter how good or bad you perform.
Yeah,
If your team still wins, you still get like the 150 plus the 50 for winning. So you get 200 per match, and that's the horrible thing about it. Like that just doesn't
yeah,
get you anywhere.
and it should be a stack system. Like you get this much extra points for getting this many double kills, or
Hmm.
this many points for a triple kill or overkill, whatever.
I mean, yes, they do have challenges and everything, but the challenges are so easy to obtain, and I would love for them to add like backlog challenges. Like if you complete some daily challenges, the game will give you more challenges to keep going to try to complete these challenges to move a little bit further in the battle pass or the leveling up system and everything like that. So, um
Yeah,
now for modes though, I feel like we're missing a lot of them, and that's because of the engine. The engine they're using is just too hard for them to be able to get these modes that people love and expect to be there,
yeah.
and that's the horrible part about it. I can't just be like, oh, they're super lazy, they don't want to go and give us the modes. They just are having a hard time with the engine that they created, which sucks.
You know, side topic. Talk about how hard that engine is. Ubisoft just had a big no happen to them in Division 2.
Well, we'll have to talk about that off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Side subject.
Yeah, because that could just spiral into a whole nother conversation. So
Oh yeah, oh definitely. Once you hear what I tell you after we're done, yeah, you're gonna be like, wow, we could have made a whole video of just that one thing.
now,
But
oh, go ahead,
but
sorry.
anyways, I hope. But anyways, I hope it's true that they're levitating towards Unreal Engine
Yeah,
for Halo.
that, like, I know some people are skeptical of it not feeling like regular Halo, but it's it's been an engine that has proved itself many times to work well.
Yeah,
And
and one of the most simplest engines to use.
so it's got a good track record. Not saying that it's like the perfect engine to use, but it's used
No,
by a
that's
lot of
Frostbite.
companies. So um now I don't know, like I feel like Halo Infinite is going to take a while to get where we want it to be. And
Oh, definitely, yeah.
because I mean, look how long it took MCC to get to where we want it to be. It took years. Like the game launched horribly. It was pretty
Yeah,
much like dead for 5 6 years, and then they decided to pick it back up again, bring it over to PC, and slowly started working on it. But it didn't all come together as quickly as we would love
yeah.
to see it happen with Halo Infinite. Um, but yeah. Anything
Yeah,
else?
like I don't know how much of the team left is still working on Infinite compared to the others that's working on the next project. So
That's true.
I hope that doesn't mean the content's going to slow down.
Yeah, and that's a fair point because last report I remember reading was 95 people had gotten laid off at 343.
Yeah,
Um, so I don't know exactly where that leaves them. If it's under 400, that could be pretty rough. And if they're only going to put, say, maybe 150 people or 100 people or even less than 100 people to work on Infinite, yeah, things are going to be really slow. And the community
yeah.
on Twitter just needs to back off. I'm
Oh,
constantly reading like comments.
Hashtag 5343.
Well, not that, but like anytime Halo posts something, they're like, "Oh, we don't want this. Oh, give us this, give us that, give us this." It's like, guys, I
That's why I don't
understand.
even want to look at the comments on Twitter anymore.
Like, I understand your frustration. Like, I'm there with you, but you gotta understand they just lost about 100 people from their studio, and
Yeah, I heard it's like around 330 or 350 people now
then you got a new head for the department or for the the whole entire studio or whatever.
who saved MCC.
Yeah, so I mean things are gonna slowly happen. It's like
Yeah.
the article comes out saying that they've been working with Certain Infinity with project, what is it, Tatanka.
Yeah.
So
I can't stop thinking about Rainbow Six whenever we say that.
so we don't know if they're still going to do the supposable battle royale, which in some people say that they should go and do that to get people into wanting to still play in the Halo universe, which is kind of a topic on itself.
Yeah. That's
But
kind of a stretch.
yeah, I mean we could definitely dive into that in another conversation or another segment, but
Yeah.
yeah, just it I don't know, like you got them working on that and Unreal and everything. So like people just have to kind of back
Yeah.
off a little bit when it
Yeah.
comes to not getting the content that they want. Like I get your frustration. I'm right there with you. I've said many times that I have given up on 343, but now kind of understanding what's been going on because they've been transparent about things to an extent. I kind of
Yeah.
feel for them a little bit. Like I have a little bit of empathy there for the developers and stuff like that. And I want to see
They
where it
just
could
need a
potentially
hug,
go.
man. They just need a hug.
But that is pretty much everything I got from my segment. Do you have anything else you want to add before we jump over to yours?
Just that, obviously with how the team is split up with different projects, I don't know what their biggest priority is. So it's going to take some time, but I think they will pull through.
Yeah, no, I absolutely feel like they're going to be able to pull through too. It's just going to take a little bit of time, and unfortunately, it's just in a bad spot. But it's not like
Yeah.
it's not like there's not a Halo game out there that we can't play. It's not like Halo Infinite isn't playable. It's just
Yeah.
not what everybody's wanting, and you can't please everybody when it comes to it. Like we've known this for so many games that are out there. There's not any way of
I said
pleasing
this so
everybody.
many. Either way, you're going to get them haters.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's move
All
on to
right.
yours. What do you got for me?
Okay. Let's talk about how they shouldn't do crossplay.
This is a big one. A good one to bring up. Go ahead.
All right, so I feel like it harms the community because I know everyone wants to be able to play with everybody, but it's been proven time and time again that PC players have more freedom with the aim, more accurate aim because it's a mouse rather than an analog stick.
But you got aim
So
assist, bro.
Well, I will pay somebody to make me an aimbot. I will go that deep. But no, it's like because when you try like casual play is one thing, but especially if you're like a ranked player, try and go in and you just hit a team of PC players, that's not going to end well.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm not a huge fan of crossplay because, yeah, I mean, you got people who are on PC that are able to get 120, 140 frames per second. They got all these different modifications they can have on their keyboards. They got these fancy mices that have like super high DPI. The sensitivity is super insane and everything like that. And yeah, people can have the argument of, oh, you have aim assist. Aim assist only goes so far, dude. Like, it only goes so far.
It's not aimbot.
So, I mean, the other thing that I hate about it is if I just want to play with console people, just to have a fair playing ground, minus people having like Cinch gaming controllers or Scuff gaming controllers or the Xbox Elite controller, like you got paddles, okay? I get it. Short hair triggers, I get it. That's fine. Whatever. Like it's cool. I get it. Like I have an Elite controller myself. It is definitely hard to go back to a regular controller, but I've been using a regular controller because I want to go back to kind of like how it was and everything like that. And for the most part, it's not that bad. You get used to it. But
Yeah,
yeah, if I want to have somewhat of an even playing ground, I want to be able to not have to worry about crossplay and playing
yeah,
against PC players. I don't like it when games force you to only use crossplay,
yeah.
and I don't know if Halo
Fortnite,
does that. Yeah, Fortnite is one that does do it, which pissed us off. We just wanted to play
Apex
against
Legends.
Apex Legends does it too.
Well, I mean, like we couldn't find a game to save our lives when we tried to turn it off, so we might as well just keep that
Uh,
thing on.
that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, like crossplay, it was great when it was first announced. Like it had potential, and bringing everybody together. But I think what they should do is they should have it where it's crossplay console, and that way you're playing against just people on Xbox Series
Yeah,
consoles and Xbox One consoles
yeah.
versus it being against everybody. So giving two
The
different
the
options would be
least I would
nice.
ask, the least I would ask is at least put like a input um I forgot what you call it, but like if a PC player is using a controller, then they will get matched with people using controllers. If
Oh, I
a
see what you're
person
saying.
is, yeah, and if a person is using keyboard and mouse, they will get matched up with only PC and mouse.
Yeah, I can see that. Now, what about if you're playing with a console player, but they're using keyboard and mouse?
Well, then you're shit out of luck. I don't know how to handle that one.
Okay.
Oh yeah, what would you suggest if that situation came?
Oh, so for that, I mean, I damn, that's hard because like if you have it set up to where you're only playing against console, but you're still using keyboard and mouse, technically you are still playing on console and you are using the console's limitations in terms of frame rate and everything like that. So you might be able to not really have to worry about too much. It's
Yeah.
just more of like player preference, but because I mean the most you can get is 120 frames. It won't be able to push any further
Yeah,
than that, so that's fine.
but you would have the free movement of the mice.
You would have that, but I mean you can increase the sensitivity with the controller anyways, so the sensitivity isn't that different. Now, if it was where you could adjust everything from like how we do with certain other games where you can adjust the vertical and horizontal sensitivities, or you can go even deeper and you can just really fine tune everything, kind of like how in Modern Warfare 2 you can fine tune practically everything from dead zones to all this other areas for your sensitivity to where there's no recoil. Then yeah, then we're getting into some bad area in my opinion, but I don't know. I don't really care too much for crossplay though.
Then you better stay on console with me, boy.
I mean, until I can get a good graphics card, we're gonna be on console for quite a while because
Instead
graphics
of
cards are still
mortgaging for a house, you would have to mortgage for a GPU these days.
yeah. Oh man, it's so expensive nowadays.
I know, it's so ridiculous.
Anything else you got for us on this one, or are we good to move on?
No, no, I'm dried out.
All right. My next one is Halo Infinite needs a reason for people to come back and play, such as hiring the XP per performance, or having the HCS playlist, social game ranks like we have in Halo 3 and Halo Reach. I know we kind of talked about the XP a little bit earlier in the discussion, but having the like really deep competitive playlist I think is really important for the people who like to play under the HCS rules, and for those who are wanting to try to prepare themselves for any type of competitions or anything like that versus just doing ranked.
Yeah.
And then I personally miss the the ranks in Halo 3 and Halo Reach. Like I finally hit
I actually
Inheritor
missed
like
that.
way past the time that Halo Reach had finally like died off, but I finally hit Inheritor like few years back, and it's super satisfying to see that there, but when I go to like MCC and it's no longer there, that is so disheartening. All that hard work.
Remember? Remember when it was rewarding to unlock the recon armor?
Yes. And then it was given to
I
you.
miss those days. Hey, it felt bad for me. Okay, shout out.
I mean, yeah. So I don't know. I know you've talked about the rankings in Halo 3 before.
Yeah.
So anything about the ranks that you liked or disliked or you would want to see come
I
back?
I just miss feeling rewarded for just playing.
Yeah.
Because like the only thing they have is a battle pass, and the battle pass sucks.
Yeah, the battle pass is absolute trash. And I don't know. I think there's only one battle pass that you have to actually pay for. I think all the other ones are free.
Yeah, the current one is free. It's a free 10 tier one.
So yeah, it's like I think for the battle pass, they're obviously going to keep this thing. So you need to give us something to want to keep trying to get all of the tiers from
Give
the
us
battle
gear
pass.
ups. Give us gear up.
This ain't Fortnite. Get out of here. But no,
Master Chief Armor.
like you can do voice effects. You could add in different
Yes.
AI like shapes. You could.
Oh my god! We thought they would do that when it was first revealed, and they showed that we can customize our AI that goes with us.
Yeah.
Have they even added any new ones?
I think I think the very first one, uh, when they first released Infinite, I think that one has like 100 tiers in it. And that one actually has a lot of stuff in it. And when you get these smaller ones, they don't really have a lot of stuff in there. They got a lot of the different types of like armor coats and maybe some challenge swaps, some XP stuff, but nothing really crazy. So like adding in different cosmetics, adding in the stuff for the AI or voices, that would be really cool. Or different armor effects that we've never seen before. That would be really cool. But it's just so
Yeah.
bland and boring that
That's why I'm saying that I don't think. Well, right now it's not the subject for that, but how one of my topics was how it should have been a live service game.
yeah, so I mean we can segue into that if you want.
No, no, no. Let's go on with yours a bit. We need to give it some love.
That's all I got, man.
Oh,
It just needs to have a playlist for the people who really want to get that HCS type of scratch.
yeah.
And then you have like having higher XP, based on your performance. So if you're sitting there not doing anything, you're being AFK, you should not be getting as much as the people who are busting their ass in the game trying to win. Like, no, that's not how that works. So
Yeah, and the last thing I'll say about it is that they should redo the XP system. And the only reason for the challenges to be there is for just bonus XP to go on top of the XP you earn and playing in your matches.
yeah, no, I would totally be on board for something like that. And having like the challenges, like if you finish a daily challenge, have it give you more.
Yeah, like MCC.
Yeah.
I
So
just said we're going to talk about MCC a lot.
well, that's because MCC is like the perfect model for what they could
It is.
potentially do for Halo Infinite. Like I'm not wanting a complete copy and paste of MCC to Infinite, but there's some core
Why
elements
not?
from MCC that just work.
I agree.
So that's all I got. Anything else you want to add?
No, we can segue into why it shouldn't have become a live service game.
Go for it, man.
So the biggest thing I would say, no matter how talented the people at 343 are, they are not the size of Bungie. They are not a live service team. I think they bit a bit too much than they could chew.
So what would you recommend them to try to do to keep it as a live service game? Like what is something that Bungie has done or other live services that you've seen that they could potentially do to improve the live service?
Either consistent content updates, or at least once every 2 weeks or something, give us a community update of what's going on at the studio, what they're currently working on, what we can look forward to. Just not this quiet BS like Microsoft likes to do with the exclusives that we don't hear for 2 freaking years.
Yeah, no, I go ahead.
I was just want to say what I think Halo needs to do is with their next title is not be a live service game. I think that proved itself enough that 343 is not ready for a live service type of team. It
Yeah,
needs to go back to a premium purchase where they drop like expansions or whatever every other month or something, or even a free content update with the maps.
yeah, no, I agree with that. You know, not everything can be a live service game, and with them
Yeah,
wanting to have Infinite being a 10-year live service game was very ambitious if it was be able to be done correctly. But
yeah,
I mean, we already had them delaying the game, and then they only gave us the multiplayer because it was the 20th anniversary. Now, if everything went great, you know, if they didn't have to
uh,
scrap the 3 years or whatever it was that they had when they first started it, then, you know, this probably would have been a much more polished game. But a lot of things were going on in the back end that we just didn't know about. And fortunately, it kind of resulted to what it is now. You know, they're slowly bringing things out, and it's taking longer than a lot of the people in the community would like. And unfortunately, with first impressions being extremely important, regardless if you have established title for years to come, it, you know, if you flop, a lot of people are gonna feel that, and they're gonna be like, well, I don't know if I can trust them again. I mean, it's
just look
hard.
at the community.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. People say that they're done with Call of Duty. We even say we're done with Call of Duty, but then they somehow are able to reel us back in, and it's good for about a month. And then when they do their first
All it
update,
took for
it
you is
fucking
gun
drops.
game.
Hey,
All
gun
it took for
game,
you is
man.
gun game.
Gun game. I'm waiting for season 2. Okay. If gun game does not work, I got one in the chamber. If one in the chamber doesn't work, then I don't know what the fuck I got.
Well,
I
one of
don't
the
know.
chambers later in the season now on launch, so haha.
That's such bull crap. Should be on launch.
That's why I said in season, not
I
you know.
know. You always gotta bust my bubbles. You're an ass. But no,
You can thank
so
me after the podcast.
what? What? I didn't hear you. Say that again.
I said you can thank me after the podcast.
But no, so I think what you were onto something though. They do need to release things, you know, maybe every 2 weeks or give us something every like 3 months, kind of like what Bungie does. We get a new expansion like every 3-4 months or something like that. And
Yeah.
they don't have to charge full price for that shit like Bungie does, but
Exactly.
you know, but with Bungie they give you these seasons though, and these seasons are long seasons,
Yeah.
and they have a storyline through them. They have content that you want to play through, and they have a bunch of other things for you to do. You don't have to always play Crucible. You don't always have to do the PvP stuff. There is a shit ton
Yeah.
of PvE things. And when they announced that Halo was going to have an open world campaign, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be great." Because they could literally have gone anywhere with it. And
Yeah.
I was really wanting like Halo imagined lost
One.
sectors.
Oh.
Like, think about it. You go into a Forerunner, an ancient Forerunner architecture that has Covenant guarding the outside of it, and you go into it, and there's like a bunch of things you can search for. You take down different waves of bosses, and then at the very end, you get some type of like audio file or terminal. Bring the terminals back and get some type of like historic video VOD or something. Like that shit would have been so fucking nice.
They
Because it
sort of did a Finnish outpost. Just like how.
no, it doesn't work. Doesn't work for me. That is not enough, sir. Not
But
enough.
you know what? You know what? It'd be awesome if we can get a team to make a Halo MMO.
Yes, that would be really cool. That would be really cool. That is something that we should kind of dig into on another video though. But yeah, so it's eh, eh, right now it should not be a live service though. I agree.
Yeah,
It should just be a premium $60-$70 game where you get all the bells and whistles ready to go. If people want to play split screen, want to play campaign, cool. Linear storyline is fine for right now. You guys tried the open world, a little bit too ambitious. You can learn from the mistakes from it.
I sort of enjoyed it.
But it's yeah, I mean, it's got potential, but they just need to go back to the models that worked.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Has been known as a more linear game, except like I know what they wanted to do. It's like your first time being semi-open world on a Haloing. Like that sounded awesome on paper,
Mm-hmm.
but the execution was just not that great.
Yes, and that kind of segues into one of my other points. But before we get to that, I want to make sure we covered everything. Yours.
Well, I have no much to say. I said my main points on this topic.
Okay. So that kind of segues into kind of what we both agreed on, because you mentioned this in the Discord, that 343 needs to take a step back and let other Microsoft studios help them. So there's definitely some strong studios under the Microsoft umbrella now, with all of the studios being pretty much bought out. Because I mean, you got id Software, creators of Doom, Obsidian Entertainment, so the creators of Outer Worlds, and then you have also like the Coalition, so Gears. So you got a good handful of people that already know how to make solid shooters. And you know, they even have like I mentioned this earlier, they have a Certain Infinity working on the other
Battle Royale.
potential battle royale.
Well, yeah,
Tatanka,
to say now it might become more than just that. So,
which is cool, but don't show us anything until you guys figure that shit out, because then people are gonna go all over the place.
Please, we need the community to shut up and just give them a reason to shut up, please.
But for anyone who's listening, if you guys have never heard of Certain Infinity, it's okay. They also worked on other projects with Microsoft and Bungie and 343.
Yeah, I don't know much about them.
If you've ever played Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, they worked on that one.
Yep.
So that's a pretty
okay.
yeah, that's a pretty big one for people to kind of remember. But yeah, so I mean, this would work out well. You know, you've taken people away from, I feel like they've trimmed the fat from the bad side of 343 that was slacking. Like you got rid of Bonnie. Not saying that Bonnie was a bad person. She's been with the industry for probably what, 15 years, I think it is. I don't exactly know.
She just had different views for the IP.
Yeah. So, you know, so she stepped down, she retired or whatever due to her own reasons. And then
there's no family problems.
And then you get the guy that worked with the MCC to make that what it is now, have him be the head of 343, and then you know you get rid of the the art team from was the art and campaign?
It was the art team and a lot of the story team.
Okay, so I don't know where that's gonna lead us, but I guess they felt like the story was just not good. Now this could also have been, you know, not just Infinite storyline, but it could have been Halo 5 storyline, Halo 4 storyline, and maybe they were just like, it's not cohesive enough between all three of these. We need a fresh reboot. So maybe that's why they trimmed the fat out of that. But yeah, so by them trimming the fat out of the bad side of 343, now you have less people there, but now you can have a stronger direction with the new head of 343. And now you have all these other companies that you can also reach out to for help that have bigger teams that they might be able to pull to work with 343 to make different types of games. And that can expand into different genres. Like we've had this happen before with the Halo 3 ODST. We've had this with Halo Wars as a RTS. I suck at RTSs, is why I don't play Halo Wars. But you've also got the the Dave and Buster's Fire Team Raven. So
That's so much fun.
it is a lot of fun. Make sure you have a full card of points though, because you're gonna die a lot, but it's fun.
I got my mom to play with me, so that says something.
But yeah, so I mean, like, it's not like we haven't had different types of ways of going with the Halo IP. I think there's one other one I forgot about. What was it? Spartan Assault. So kind of like a top-down view.
That's pretty fun too.
So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, they could go different routes with it. I know we've talked about them doing like a horror
Horror
type.
Flood.
Yeah.
Get the people who make Hellblade.
Yeah, so I mean, that would be pretty cool. I mean, you play a lot of horror games, so what would you want to see out of a Halo horror game?
Just like, okay, with the Halo universe, I don't want to play as a Spartan because Spartans are overpowered. I want to feel weak and scared, like a human's first or a Marine's first time stepping deep into the flood territory where they have no clue what the flood is. And so you get that suspense, and like you just don't know what to expect as that soldier, and then like just let hell break loose.
So would you want to be more of like a Marine or an ODST?
That's a good question. That could go both ways because you're not at the strength of a Spartan either way. So you do feel weak compared to the flood. So I could go both ways.
So to kind of mix both of those together, what if you were to start off as a Marine and later on down the storyline you can find like ODST armor when like things get harder? So like you can upgrade yourself.
Oh yeah, like you just see like a corpse of an ODST Marine and you take his armor and be like, well, you're not going to be needing it anymore. You dead.
Right. But the thing is, like, where the damage has been done with that armor is where your vulnerabilities are.
Yes, until like you find a way to fully repair that armor.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that would be kind of cool. But
hire us.
right? Let us be the idea guys, or let other people in the community that come up with this stuff.
We're the concept guys.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know, because like when you were playing Dead Space Remake, I was like, dude, this would be so cool as a Halo game where you have a lot of vulnerabilities and you don't have the superhuman strength. You don't have the crazy weapons and everything like that. Like, you could only hold, say, 2 weapons, which would be realistic. Like, you wouldn't be able to like have like these giant like chainsaw weapons just to pull at your ass. Like, you're not gonna have that. So
funny enough, that's what one of the OG developers of Dead Space said. He said, yeah, we gave him magic pants.
So yeah, I mean, I think that would be really interesting. And like, actual, if you like take damage to like your arm, you won't really be able to use that. Like, adding some realism to it would also be kind of interesting too, because then that makes you as the player really think strategically about how you're going to maneuver through this situation. You can't just run in there, shoot, take some damage, and then find a health pack somewhere and be instantly healed. Like, I think it would be interesting to kind of see how they can take some other elements from other games, or from like a cinematic side of things or a survival side of things, and implement that into the Halo game. Because like we both said, we're not Spartans. We don't have that armor. We don't have a way of just instantly regenerating.
We don't have that strength.
Yeah, so I think that would be really cool. Like, I would actually be interested in playing something like that. I'm not a horror guy, but yeah, I would actually give that a shot.
It could be a perfect co-op game too, like something like from that new Aliens game.
Space Marines, is that what it is? The Alien?
No, not Space Marines. It's Fire Team Elite. Is it?
I'm gonna look it up.
But it's a co-op shooter where everyone has a specific gadget.
Alien Alien Isolation.
No, that was a single player survival horror.
Yeah, Fireteam Elite. Yep.
Oh!
Yeah,
Let's go.
Fireteam Elite
Yeah,
is a
give me something
co-op
like that.
third-person survival game. Yeah.
Oh, just make it first person.
Battle through hordes of different types of xenomorphs. Yep.
And then just to put the icing on the cake, if you die in this flood game, have one of those sick animations you receive from Callisto Protocol.
Oh, okay. That's the only thing I like about Protocol is the deaths. Like that, like that's the only thing that's really cool. Like I can sit there and watch videos of how people die.
Me up.
But I won't ever play that game. Not because of the rating that the game got, just because I don't do horror games. But it's really gotta like interest me to even want to attempt it. Like watching you play Dead Space kind of made me want to try to play it, but since I have a heart issue, that's probably a bad idea. So that's why I don't do anything with horror.
It's a bad idea.
Yes. But watching someone else play it perfectly fine. Like I'm cool. I could sit there and yeah, I'm good.
That's why I never did like more than an hour-long stream because my chest would always hurt at a certain point. I'm like, okay, I need to take a break.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so that is everything that I got on my end. Is there anything else you want to add to them taking a step back?
No, I think we explained everything.
Okay, so what points you got?
Okay. We're going to talk about the point of what I mean of how Microsoft needs to support Halo as much as they used to.
Okay.
Because to me, they don't treat it like their big flagship IP anymore.
No, I totally agree with that.
And to be fair, like, we don't even know how much budget they give the company for Halo anymore.
True.
So like that, like they need to remember that Halo started Xbox literally. And I think if you put that much love as you used to into the Halo franchise and you actually listen to the community and give 343 as much funding as they need, I think it could make a big turnaround and become as big as it used to.
I can agree with that. So I don't know how much Halo was the pull for Xbox being as great as it was, because I mean Xbox did have some other games, but Halo is like the only game that I really remember ever playing on the original Xbox. And then when Xbox Live became a thing with Halo 2, like I remember getting the magazine for it. I remember getting the magnet of Master Chief in his pose. You know, so like I feel like yeah, Halo really is what put Xbox on the market and on the map. Yeah. Like without it, I don't think it would have done anything until Gears came out. Like
I agree.
I mean maybe Forza, maybe, but
that's
no.
even stretching it.
Yeah, that's like a huge stretch for me. But yeah, Gears is like the next thing to Halo for me. Like those are the two that I really felt was this is Xbox, this is what we do, these are the games that we make, and this is why you need to play here. You know?
Yeah.
But
and now they're all about Starfield.
Yeah, which I also haven't heard anything. Like I'm surprised they did not mention Starfield in their big like press conference thing, like the Xbox Direct or whatever the fuck they want to call it.
Developer Direct.
Yeah. So like your big flagship next game, and you haven't said anything.
Yeah. The only thing they said is when they warned us about expectations, be like, Starfield is going to be its own showcase down the line.
Yeah, down the line. No idea when. If that's going to be around Summer Game Fest, Gamescom, like, hello?
I have a feeling that's what it's made. What I'm predicting is that around the time when Xbox usually does their showcase, around the Summer Game Fest time, after that, like last year, Bethesda will do the Starfield showcase. That's my
Mm,
prediction.
I could see that. I could definitely see that. More
But
topics.
anyways, we're not here about that right now. We're here about Halo, damn it.
Yes. But no, I agree with you, 1000%. Like you don't even get like good trailers for Halo anymore.
No. Like that's why I brought up all those trailers that I loved, like the when the ODST soldiers were fighting brutes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Action trailer. And then the trailer of Master Chief in that battlefield throwing down the bubble shield.
Yes. Oh yes.
That's how I got introduced to Kill Switch Engage, which is funny. Someone put the song Mike Chris in that video.
The good old days of making your own music videos for YouTube.
I know.
Can't do that anymore.
Again, another topic.
Yeah, I know, right? That's the thing, guys. Like, we can come up with so many topics just by just talking about what our current topic is, and then we're like, oh, nope, not today, because we'll be here for like 3 hours.
Like, hold your horses. People has lives. They can't just sit down and listen to this.
Was there anything else you wanted to add to your current point?
Nah, not well. There's been a big lack of advertising for the Halo franchise too of the recent years.
Yes, I can agree with that. I think the last one was Halo 5.
Even that only got like what, 2, maybe 3 commercials about it.
I mean, that's still quite a bit if it's like 2 or 3 for the game. But yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But any points you have on it?
No, I mean, I pretty much covered. I mean, what you said was pretty much on point, and then what I added to it, that's pretty much all I got.
Small sentiment.
All right. Well, then the last thing that I have that I'm going to talk about is we need a roadmap that is achievable and is going to make people want to love this IP starting now and into the future. So the transparency between Microsoft and 343 and what they're currently doing, like there's a lot of the rumors of, oh, we're working on maybe going to Unreal Engine 5 and we're talking about these updates. Like they just recently tweeted about an update that's supposed to go out on February 15th. It's a very small update, but it's like for like bug fixes and stuff like that, but it's nothing huge. And then I don't know what we're doing for the next season, which is I think March 5th, something like that.
Yeah, it's somewhere in March. It's somewhere in the start of March.
But yeah, so I mean, it would be nice for them to just kind of make a blog post about here's where we're going right now that is achievable, that we know that we can actually do. And then when that one's done, they update us with another one, maybe like a couple weeks later after that first one has been achieved.
Let me ask you something about the franchise real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Since Phil says he wants to bring Halo to more platforms, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Do you think that could anyway help benefit the franchise as a whole if it went on multiple platforms instead of just Xbox?
Yes, because that's going to make the population go even higher, because there are people like, let's say it does go to PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
This is a whole nother topic on its own, but I'm just going to kind of poke at it a little bit. If it goes to PlayStation's got a massive following as it is, and a lot of people like to play shooters. That's why Call of Duty is so important to Sony.
Yeah.
But if you added Halo to the PlayStation platform, that would then allow people to try Halo for the first time, or bring old Halo fans back that had left Xbox and refused to go back to Xbox because they love the PlayStation platform so much more. So you're giving people more opportunities to play a franchise that either they have never touched or have touched, and that's going to allow more feedback to then shape the franchise into a better direction than what it is now. The only thing is we have to make sure that they're actually trying to listen to the community. Now, you can't please
Yeah,
everybody, but you want to at least try to listen to what they're saying and try to tackle the more requested things that are being said while also still being transparent with everybody.
yeah. They need to be more like Dying Light.
I don't follow Dying Light, so please shed some light.
So, okay. That's a dad joke and a half. Okay, so instead of doing your basic like, instead of showing like, hey, we got a bug fix coming out or we got patch notes coming out, they do a segment called a community update every month, and and it shows off literal feedback from the community on Reddit, Twitter, everywhere, and they implement that into the game. And they just came out with the recent roadmap that showed like, okay, in March we're gonna have a combat physics system overhaul. We're gonna have better animations, parkour, and then in May we're gonna have the next expansion. So it's like those two systems are something that the community's been asking about and wanting change, and they're like, "Here, we're gonna do that change, and you can expect that in April."
That is what we definitely need. 1000%. I think every company needs to follow that same model because that's the thing. Like, we even said this. Well, actually, we didn't say this. You said this yesterday. Judas isn't coming out until 2025. We are probably gonna we're probably gonna forget about it. So like that's the thing. Like having that communication with your community is so important because if you do that every month, people are going to remember the franchise. They're going to also be kind of hyped to want to go back and play depending on what the update is. Like, we haven't touched Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 for like a month. But now, well, you have. Okay, I forgot. I forgot. You touched it. But I haven't touched it for like a month. And when you had shown me the stuff that's happening in season 2, I was like, hell yeah. Gun game, one in the chamber, dome. Like, we're getting some things that I'm excited about, but it's also things that should have been in the game at day one. So
yeah,
but it's still I feel like they're doing that shit on purpose because of what I just said. It brings that hype back and brings people back to the game that have left.
John, they were listening.
So I mean, yeah, I feel like that is something that, you know, what Dying Light is doing, like the developers having that is important and they're doing it right. So that's good.
Yeah, and every other week or so they add like a new like new weapons in the game, new specific end game events. They do a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's gonna be my ending question for those of you guys who are watching. You can drop it in the comments, and this is also for you, Ryan. If Halo was to create a Halo game in a specific genre, what genre would you want to see it in?
Oh, you suck. I would say RPG, but I don't think they're at that level yet to do that really well. So
RPG. That would be really cool. I could totally see that being done.
Like, you create your own character, you go through the basic boot camp of becoming a soldier.
That would be pretty.
And then eventually working your way up to ODST Marine. Now you just got me dreaming.
So for me, mine's like super simple. Platformer.
First-person shooter. Oh.
I would like to see it in a platformer, like a side-scrolling platformer, similar to
just
like,
have like a small message jumping around.
Well, yeah, like you take a little mixture of like Metroid, like if you do like Metroid Dread, and then like you kind of like add stuff from like Ori or any of those type of like platformers. I think that should be kind of fun. Like, it's not supposed to be like a high AAA game, but
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, I think it'd be pretty cool.
Just tell the developers not to let Master Chief break his legs jumping. You know.
Why you gotta bring up Fortnite, bro? Just because I jump from somewhere and bust my legs, okay? It's not my fault.
Well, you're talking about platformer. You kind of need those legs.
I mean, I can't help it, man. I skip leg day like all the time.
This last tree just carry like 2-ton bricks, make him look like he has some thick ass legs, but like skinny as a chicken leg.
Oh god, but yeah, no, I think an RPG would be awesome. It would definitely be a lot. For that they need Obsidian. I'm just gonna straight out say it.
Oh, I completely agree with you. What about a card game?
Ooh. Oh, bro, that needs to happen.
And I hope people heard me correctly saying card, not car.
Yeah, card, like trading card.
Yeah, because dude, there's so much you can do that with Halo.
Oh my god.
There's so much you can do.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying do like a Magic the Gathering or Hearthstone or a Runeterra clone,
no.
but that would be pretty sick. I mean, damn, I didn't think about that. That's pretty cool.
Damn it, I want to take your idea.
Like I wanted something a little bit more simple, you know, something that I could just casually play, and then this guy comes in and throws down like the hard ones, like card game. Fuck, man, because I'm a sucker for card games. Like I love TCGs.
That's the reason why I said it.
You're an ass. All right.
But it's true. I think it would be so awesome.
It seriously would. Any last things you want to add before we wrap this up?
No, I think we got everything off our chest.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, that completes today's discussion here on the Creo Show. This is the first episode. It is something new that I am trying here on the channel where we just talk about general things that we talk about off camera. So we figured, why the fuck not just bring it to a video and have the discussion and let you guys join us in the comments and stuff like that. I want to try to have a consistent upload for this, but right now it's just once a week or once every other week whenever we find a topic that we want to share. So do bear with us as we kind of build this series a little bit. But if there's any topics that you want us to talk about, drop them in the comments. If there's anything you want to add to the conversation, please drop those in the comments too. But thank you guys so much for listening to us and watching today's video, and I'll catch y'all later. Take care.